The Last of Us Part 2 is my favorite game of all time. The Last of Us Part 2 is my favorite piece of art ever. I've played games for as long as I can remember. Over the years, so many games have touched my heart. Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, Assassin's Creed 2, the Uncharted series, just to say a few. But nothing has come close to the way I feel about The Last of Us Part 2. No game has ever made me feel the way this game has. A year ago I made a review on this game on my main channel, titled The Last of Us Part 2 Review, a Flawed Masterpiece. I just finished the game and I wanted to share my thoughts, but since then I couldn't stop thinking about this game. It was on my mind constantly. I can't stress to you enough how much this game just wouldn't leave my head. The Last of Us Part 1 was my all-time favorite game and it meant so much to me. It inspired and drove my passion for storytelling. Like I said in my review, in my years at college, I even made a short film which basically was a love letter to the game. I never thought something would come close to my love for that game. That was until back when I released my review, I gave the game an 8 out of 10. Oh, Jack from a year ago. What an idiot. Like I said, this is my favorite piece of art ever. I remember saying that much of the Abby part of the game just didn't work for me. But, like I said, idiot. The Last of Us Part 2 challenges its players by making them see both sides of a story. A truly messed up story at that. We have to play as Abby, the villain, the person we spend all of Ellie's story despising as we seek our revenge, to avenge Joel. A character who many of us bonded with and loved. Making that truly horrific decision at the end of the first game resulted in his death. And now, we have to play as his killer. So how the hell are we meant to play as the twisted woman that tortured and killed him? Well, by accepting forgiveness. By seeing the other side. No piece of art has ever made me feel so angry, so sad, so completely compelled by what the characters are experiencing, like Part 2. Ellie and Abby are two of my all-time favorite protagonists because of the way this game completely engulfs you in their lives. Watching Joel get murdered in front of me made me want to kill every last one of them. I've never felt so brutally destroyed by a game in my life. Ellie's experience is your experience. Ellie loses herself along the way and so do you. By the end of the game, Ellie turns into someone completely unrecognizable. But I understood it because I felt like a little part of me had been lost too. The horrific decisions and acts made throughout the game get you to this point. And for what? The amount of lives lost for such a selfish act to still feel broken? Revenge never fixes anything, and it never will. It won't change anything. It'll only make things worse. And playing through this game, you feel that, you know that. Playing a game puts you in the shoes of the character. Sure, the story is predetermined, but we make those choices. We continue to go down the road that results in pain. We are moving it forward. Games ask us to act. The people in these worlds feel so real, and because of that we are attached to them. When they are taken away, we want to act in a way that is beyond just playing a video game.
If I ever were to lose you, but surely
But then, you experience Abby's story. A story where you learn to love and trust again. Sound familiar? Abby meets Lev and Yara and she has a change of heart. For so long now, Abby has lived on this road of hatred, the one Ellie is currently living on. The contrast in these two characters' journeys is so refreshing. I can't think of any other game that has ever approached this style of storytelling. It's ambitious, it's challenging, it's thought-provoking. And through this story, we get to see one of the most haunting endings I've ever experienced. Ellie tries to kill Abby, but she can't. For a split second, we see Ellie thinking about Joel. We later see my favourite scene from the entire game. A memory she had of him. A memory of forgiveness. A moment where Ellie decides to forgive the man that took the opportunity for her life to mean something in this world where there is rarely something to live for. And Ellie realizes, if she can forgive the man that took that away from her, then she can forgive Abby. Maybe in Abby she sees Joel. She sees someone who is lost, who found meaning in someone else, who still has light left in them. But Ellie doesn't. Ellie realizes that killing Abby isn't going to bring Joel back. With this, she must find closure another way. She has to move past this. All this violence, all this loss for nothing. Unable to play the one thing she has left of Joel, Ellie decides to put down the guitar, get up, and leave this part of her life behind. Ellie has sacrificed everything. Her humanity, her relationship, her one chance at a happy life. All for this. For nothing. If that's not the most harrowing, bleak and depressing tale I've ever heard, then I don't know what is. And then I realized, once I'd finished the game, it finally occurred to me. I'd fallen into the very trap that the game had set out for me. I'd let that pain, that trauma, that anger corrupt me just like it had Ellie. And for a piece of art to do that, well, that is truly revolutionary.